Last year I posted a review video of the Apple M1 MacBook Air. At that point, I had been a lifelong PC user. So how is my mental state and experience with this machine after a year of ownership? Well, great overall. As tiny, boring, and minimalistic this little powerhouse is, and by the way, those are not bad things, I've been enjoying my time with my new laptop as I use it to edit and post these videos on my channel. What's up everyone, I'm Jonathan from Jopatech and thanks for stopping by. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and check out some of my other videos and consider hitting that subscribe button. Now, let's jump into my thoughts on the M1 MacBook Air in 2023, after a year of ownership. And before we start, I will be referencing my 2020 M1 MacBook Air simply as MacBook Air or just MBA. Let's cover the specs first. This MBA is powered by Apple's own chip, the M1. It is the base model MBA, so you get 256GB of storage, 8GB unified memory, and a 7-core GPU. The display is 13.3-inch LED backlit IPS screen with a 2560 by 1600 resolution with 227 pixels per inch. Brightness is 400 nits with True Tone technology. A 49.9 watt-hour lithium polymer battery keeps the MBA charged and usable anywhere between 15 to 18 hours of mixed use and supports up to 30-watt USB-C charging. Speaking of, you have two USB 4 Thunderbolt ports on the left of the laptop and a 3.5mm headphone jack on the right. Sandwiched between the innards and display, you have a backlit Magic Keyboard with a Touch ID-enabled power button at the top right. For navigation, you have the Force Touch trackpad, which allows for multi-touch gestures and pressure-sensing inputs like drawing or force click. I'm getting some Star Wars vibes here. This machine supports up to Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.0 connections and comes weighing in at 2.8 pounds and is no thicker than 0.63 inches. Current OS is Ventura 13.3. And for all you folk out there who like to eat weird things, you'll be happy to know this MBA is mercury, BFR, PVC, and beryllium free, and there is no arsenic in the display glass, so bon appetit. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about my experience with this MacBook Air over the past year. And I will say again, it's been great. Here's why. Consistency. What I mean by this is fairly simple. Every time I lift the screen, this thing is ready to go. Continuing to edit a video on iMovie, bam, no hiccups, ready to go. I have 4 Brave internet browser windows open with many tabs on each, and no matter which one I open up, it's ready to go. Every app and every task run effortlessly, which I would expect with a $1,300 Canadian price tag. Battery. This thing lasts me usually a week before I need to charge it. The battery performance is always above what I'm used to in a laptop. Mind you, my previous laptop was from 2012 and I used it alongside a custom PC. And that battery has lasted me until I bought this MacBook, so I am curious to see how long this one lasts, being my main and only computer at the moment. Keyboard. The keyboard is delicious. Honestly, start typing on it and your fingers fall right into each key. The travel, the feel, and that audible tap/click sound they make. I know the Dell XPS line has some beautiful keyboards also, so you better expect nothing less with the price you're spending. General ease of use. So it did take some time for me to get used to Mac OS. My entire exposure to computers at a younger age has been through PC. From online gaming to chatting with the ladies on MSN Messenger, growing up was always PC. Never had a reason to switch. Well, many years and ladies later, here we are, acquiring a computer that I use for work. And as much of a drag as that may sound, I do find Mac OS to be as smooth as a cold red stripe on a hot Jamaican beach. It is a simplistic approach to an OS which gives me a mix of Windows and iOS vibes. For anyone making the switch, like anything, give it time and you will learn. I'm still learning new things, by the way. However, not everything is perfect in this world, and that's a hard truth many have trouble swallowing. I suggest suppository. Here are a few things I don't like about my MacBook Air. Screen size. 13 inches is big depending on the context. For laptops, 13 inches is the biggest, smallest screen size you can get, if that makes sense. Yes, the size of this MBA is perfect in transport and basic media consumption, but after working on iMovie for 2 hours editing a video, I kind of wish the screen was a little bigger. A 15-inch screen would be nice, but then Apple would change the name from MacBook Air to MacBook Sulfur Hexafluoride. Even the name sounds denser. Lack of ports. As I mentioned earlier in this review, the 2020 MBA has 2 USB Type-C Thunderbolt 4 connections and a 3.5mm headphone jack. That's it. Oh, but it's all about minimalism and a streamlined look. Well, of course it is, but now I'm forced to purchase a dongle so I can plug in different peripherals. You can either purchase Apple branded products at a high price, or search around online or at any tech store and you will find what you need at a lower cost. The new M2 MacBook Air has a MagSafe charging connector, so your Type-C ports are still accessible while charging. I guess Apple listened to the complaints of the M1 Air owners and made a change to the M2. At least that's what I assume. So how is the 2020 M1 MacBook Air treating me after a year of ownership? Well, really well. It checks off my boxes when it comes to what a laptop can do for me. It is consistent, feels nice, and lasts a long time on a single charge. The aluminum body feels nice and cold to the touch, and it really doesn't look like a traditional laptop with how thin and minimalist it is. Could it use more ports? For sure. I get around fine with 2 different dongles to add wired internet and USB-A connections, and I still have the ability to charge the laptop when needed. Should you buy this on the used market instead of purchasing a new M2 Air? Well, that entirely comes down to your budget and if MagSafe is a big deal for you. But from what I've seen about the M2 versus the M1, it isn't a huge step up in terms of performance, especially if you're using your laptop to surf the web, watch videos, or hang around on social media. This is a great machine for students or anyone entering the Apple ecosystem, like me, and don't need the Pro series of laptops. In short, you pay a lot for what looks like very little, but it gives no problems and does what I need it to do, and should receive updates for years to come. I'm happy with it. Do you have an M1 MacBook Air? Or even the M2 MacBook Air? Comment down below your thoughts and let's get chatting. If you found this video helpful, a sub to the channel would be appreciated, and don't forget to hit that like button and ding that notification bell while you're there. I'm Jonathan from Jopatech, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace.